There's a movie, Back to the Future, where there was like a board from the future. So it's something like it's never been seen in the world. I can go downstairs and like in less than 5 minutes, I will have like 10 people like have the wow reaction. Like, oh my God, like look at him. How can you do that? The first question, how can you do that? Wow, oh my God, like, where did you buy this? It's the first time I see it. That's like something futuristic. So first of all, my name is Pietro. I'm from Montreal. I grew up here. I've been living here for 16 years. And I came from Congo. And what I do is that I'm the CEO of a company called Cosmobile. Cosmobile is a company that we rent. It's a new technology. We call them self-balancing board. So what we do, we rent them here in the Old Port. And we do guided tour.
I'm from Montreal. Well, I'm born here. My parents, my mom, she's from Bolivia. My dad, Guatemala. I'm co-owner as well of Cosmobile with Pietro. We worked together the first time we saw it. We were at Terrasse Bon Secours and there was this guy, he had one. And we tried it and then I'm like, oh, I really want it. We looked for it online. He got me one and he got himself one too. First day we actually did it. We went all the way to downtown and everybody was stopping us and asking us, where did you get that? And we're going and people would stop us. And I tell him like, we should even rent them. And he's laughing. He thought it was like, you know, we were just making jokes. But people really kept asking us. And then that's how we actually decided to. That's when he asked me, he's like, do you really want to do it? We do it. Are you serious about it? I'm like, you know, I was saying it as a joke. And we decided to actually go into business.
Cosmobile, because we were looking for something futuristic. Since it's a board from the future, every time people see it, they're like, oh my God, like you're like walking in the future. So we were looking for something out of this world. So that's where the name Cosmo came. And then Bill, it's from automobile. Just like we wanted a French and an English name to go both together. So Cosmobile can be said in English Cosmobile, in French Cosmobile.
You know, went to the city of Montreal first to know if we need a license to actually, if there was any issues or restrictions about driving that in the streets too, because when you buy it, you know, you don't really care. But when you're gonna do a business, you don't want customers to be getting, you know, pulled over every time. So they told us for that they didn't have any restrictions, so it was fine.
So it's been already a week and 2 days. We're already up to 70 clients that came here to rent the board. So I can say it's going pretty well. We have two kinds of boards. We have the small one, which are 6.5 inches. They are more made for the inside. And we have the 10 inches, which are the bigger models, which we use them for our clients. These are the ones that are done for the outside, so it absorbs like the small cracks in the streets. And that I promise to everyone, it takes less than 5 minutes to master the Cosmobile. So the first thing you have to do is just have 1 foot on the board, and then when you see the light turn green on the other side, then you put the second foot. And then for the first time, people get like, oh my God, they can balance themselves without holding something. It's like, it's not it's like a Segway, but it's not a Segway. So you have to stay still. The first thing you have to think, it's like, I have to be relaxed. When you're relaxed, you control the machine. You learn how to go forward, backwards, and turn. Just to go forward, you have to lean like your feet up to the toes, not too much, just like a bit. You go for, then you can go forward. When you go backwards, you just have to put a little bit weight behind, and it goes backward. And to turn, you have to put 1 foot, like you have to put weight on 1 foot. 1 foot, and the boards can turn. On the other foot, the board turns this way. So it's pretty easy. I have like clients from 8 years old up to 60 years of age. Yeah.
Even my parents, they tried. My mom was screaming in the beginning because she was just turning around, but after that, yeah, they got used to it.
My passion has always been to do a business, and now I'm 26, and I always been driving just like everyone, but usually like I usually talk about it. I was always talking about it, but not doing anything about it. And then when Cosmobile, the idea of having a rental place, it came, I saw the reaction just from people. That's where it brought my drive, and I was like, this time I'm really doing it.
We're not sure, how it's gonna work, but at the same time, what I'm thinking, it's if I don't take the risk, then how are we gonna make it, right? We have to try it. So that's really what we're doing right now. When we did this project, it was a lot for the people of this city, and we really want like the people of the city to know that we're here and there's a renting place. We can say like it's the first in North America, and that they should come and have fun here at the Old Port. We're open 7 days a week.
I have always gone to conventions and enjoyed being around similar-minded people. It's kind of like going for a sports person, like say for example, they get a chance to go to watch a game and whatnot, and be gathered around the same people that are cheering for the same team or whatnot. And when in our fandom, it's like you're reading comic books, or you're kind of by yourself. You can't really cheer people on. You can do the online thing, but it's not the same kind of feeling. When you go to a convention, it's like you get that feeling. Everybody's on the same page. You're like, oh, I'm not alone in this experience. And it just brings a lot of joy to me and to a lot of other people. And I knew that I enjoyed being in that environment a lot. And when the opportunity came, I couldn't say no. It was a big chance because there's not many conventions, and there's not many across Canada, across the States, and these opportunities, you take them when you can. So this all started back in around 2006, 2007. Two comic book vendors, Oscar and Alex, the co-presidents of the company as is, were going to conventions across Canada and some of the States and saying, hey, you know what, we need one in Montreal, because there's been a lot of companies that have tried in the past to set one up, but they haven't been very successful. They did 1 or 2 years, or they stayed a certain size. So they came along and they were somewhat successful at the beginning, a couple hundred people, then a couple, 1,800 people, something like that. And eventually in 2009, that's our official first year, 2009 they decided to invite their first celebrity. That was Lou Ferrigno was the first celebrity invited, and some comic book artists and whatnot. And then the attendance soared. I forget the exact number, but it was 4,000, 5,000, something along those lines. That was a very good success. They decided that they wanted to continue, and what happened is, eventually in 2011, they used up a lot of the space at Place Bonaventure, and that's when they invited Stanley and Adam West and whatnot. And around that time, I came in as a consultant. I was helping out with certain ideas and whatnot on how to run aspects of the show. And the next year, they offered me a part-time position to be the programming coordinator at that time. So I did that part-time. And then eventually, the following year, I quit my day job. Programming director, what do I do? So the main thing that I do is I consult for the guests on who's going to get booked. My boss, the co-president, he comes up with some ideas and he talks to agents and whatnot. He sends me lists and I review the lists and say, okay, book this person, book this person. Or if I get an idea, I said, you know what, like this person's hot right now, we need to get them. And then they work at booking that person or those people. Then once he starts booking them, I have to start organizing what their schedule is going to be like, when their events are going to be taking place, the autographs, the photos. I also, that's the celebrity part of the schedule. Then we also have panels and workshops that's more fan-driven or professional-driven, in the sense that people that work in the industry, let's say they work in the comic book industry, maybe some people want to submit ideas on a presentation on, you know, a workshop on how to sketch X, Y, Z in comic books. And so I accept submissions from everybody. So we sit down, I don't make the final decision by myself, I sit down with the team and we look at the submissions and we say, hey, you know, which panel is going to attract more people, which panel is the most interesting, which panel brings something new to the convention. One of my goals when I pitched to join the team was I wanted to increase the visibility for video games and for the French side in Comic-Con. Kim is part of the 501st group. La Forteresse Impériale is the Quebec version, well, the Quebec squadron, garrison squadron. That what they do is they do charity events. They go across events in Quebec and they do fundraising for Make-A-Wish Foundation. So every year they collect a lot of money. And sometimes what they do is they have sick kids in the hospital and they make them come here to Comic-Con and they you know, take pictures with the kids and whatnot. And you know, nobody cares that he wasn't in the movie, but they see somebody that looked like it was in the movie, right? The adults care about meeting the celebrities. I care about meeting celebrities. But the kids are like, this is the celebrity.
I'm from Brazil and I own a bakery. It's a Brazilian bakery and it's me and my family who started that. Me, my brother, my father and my mother basically. And I have another girl who works here with me. I always worked in restaurants. I studied culinary. I went to the culinary school in Brazil, and since there I always worked in restaurants. And when I arrived here in Montreal, I started right away working in a restaurant. And I didn't have any idea about do my business or start something. No, I was just arriving in the city. I was really young, and I wanted work. And my idea was work, study, and save money to travel. And then when I realized that I could do something bigger here, I could open and show a bit of Brazil here, I said, well, maybe I can do that. We started really small, just supplying supermarkets and parties and doing catering. And 1 year after, I had the chance to really open the place. We are the first Brazilian bakery in Quebec. The purpose I had when I decided to open Padoca was to show a bit more of Brazil to the people here. Because When I arrived here, I realized they had a lot of stuff of all over the world. Like you could find information about a lot of different countries, but you couldn't find a lot of stuff from Brazil. And I had many friends from here, and I realized they didn't know anything about Brazil. So that's when I thought, well, I could do something that show people here what we have. We have so many good things, so many exotic things, and I could do that. I could show them. So most of my clients are Brazilians, but more and more people from here are coming and discovering and are really curious about what we have. So I have many many clients that already been in Brazil, and they just come here and say, oh, I want to try that, I ate that in Brazil, it's so good. And I have clients there just curious about Brazil because they think Brazil is really exotic. We have 4 products. They are the most popular. One is the bolo de rolo. It's a popular Recife cake from Recife. It's a guava cake. The second one is the queijadinha. It's a cake with cheese and coconut. The brigadeiro is a Brazilian truffle made with condensed milk and chocolate. And the fourth is the carrot cake. Our carrot cake, the way we do carrot cake in Brazil is different the way they do in North America. We have other products here like brownies or cookies, but 90% of our products are Brazilian, and those are the most popular ones. I feel like Padoca is a really cozy place. People come here and they feel good here. So I have many clients, most of Brazilians that come here just sometimes just to have coffee or just to have a glass of water and talk, and they just meet their friends here, like, oh, I was just passing by to say hi, and they meet other friends, so suddenly everybody's on the table, like eating and having a coffee together. It becomes like some really nice place to meet friends and just have like 5 minutes of break. That's really nice. And I have even friends that or clients that come here and say, okay, Gabi, I'm just grabbing this, and I come back in 1 hour to pay and grab something else.
Oi, Gabi.
Bom dia, tudo bem, você?
A gente tem hoje, hein?
A gente tem bolo de pamonha, que você adora, queijadinha.
I just work here, and sometimes on my lunchtime I came here and I saw the restaurant, so I came in and I tried out a lot of things, and then since that I came here every day, 3 times per day, and it's very good. We don't have like a lot of places like this, like really good Brazilian food, and sometimes we met some friends here. We have the terrace on the back side, so it's very good. It's like it makes me remember a little bit what is Brazil, what I came from. Here is a little part of Brazil in Canada, and I feel home here.
I think people come here and they can feel that. They can feel, I'm 5 minutes in Brazil. Like I can hear Portuguese. My clients say that. My clients from here, they say that, well, I can hear Portuguese here. I can come and, if I want to learn Portuguese, I can come here and practice. And I have many of my Brazilian clients, they say that to me. They say, it's like the best part of the week, it's when I can come here and have this Brazilian moment. So it's nice. I think I got my goal.
Hi, my name is Eric Brown. I'm from Montreal and I'm a multimedia artist. I do painting, sculptures, comics, illustration, etchings, a bit of music, and I did a movie recently. And I also take care of the gallery Usine Sans Issue. Usine Sans Issue is an artist-run gallery, so we do a group show every month with about 30 different artists. We're focused on figurative outsider art because there's a lack for that in Montreal. There's a lot of abstract and conceptual, but we need to have a place that shows more art that speaks to the people. Sometimes it's very odd, very strange, but we like to show the unusual. And the way we operate is the artists who are holding the place are volunteer, and then everybody pays a fee to show, and this is how we pay the rent. And then when we sell something, we give back 90% to the artist. So it started actually as just a show. We were a few friends, and someone lent us a space. It was the second floor of a record store, Paul Boutique on Mont-Royal, for a week. So then we said, okay, let's do something fun. Let's be like 5 or 6 of us artists there, and create art on the spot, put it on the wall, and fill the walls over the week. You know, so that was the idea. That's why the usine is like a factory. So you're always producing work on the spot. This is where the name comes from, and it went great. People were buying stuff. The papers talked about it. We got some media. So then the guy offered us to rent the space. So this is how it started. And then we started renting the space. We moved twice and now we're here. We've been going on since August 2006. So it's 9 years now. I started more in the comics and publication. So I was doing a lot of comics, publishing my books, going to Europe, selling them, like in the States too. So I worked a lot in that field. So illustration, drawings, graphics, narrative. This is more where I came from. And then I always had an interest in visual arts. Like I was really into surrealism for a long time before I was doing comics. So it kind of grew upon itself. You know, there was a taste that was always there. And then I shifted from the comics to the fine art when I started working in an art gallery. And yeah, this changed my perspective. It gave me a good idea of the art world, the different mediums you can use, the different techniques. So I thought it was very fresh, very explorative, which is more like what I want to do, I think. Because the graphics and comics is a very rigid format. They expect always the same thing from you. Instead of going to university, I decided to travel and go to museums and experience different cultures, which was more formative for me, for my mind, and for what I want to do. There's a lot of the things that are special and different, like especially like first, the fact that we're focused on the outsider figurative art. I don't know any other galleries like that. The variety of the work we choose to show. You can see some very realistic, some very far out fantasy, like some kind of cute cartoony, some very dark, sometimes it's sexual. There's a lot of themes that are pretty on the limit, you know. So we take chances, we take risks, we show some risky art sometimes. We show a lot. The fact that we fully fill the walls the way we do allows us to show more art and offer different things to different people. Like there's also the fact that like the artists pay $50, we pay the rent this way. So we're not depending on sales to pay the rent. So that's a totally different perspective. If you're depending on sales, then you're gonna say, oh, I like this, I think it's interesting, but oh, I don't know if it's gonna sell, so we won't show it. You know, a lot of galleries, they do that. They play safe. So they'll show art that they think will sell. Are they right? I don't know. Usually not, because you never know what people are going to buy. They're not going to buy the same thing you sold yesterday. They're going to buy something new. So you can't rely on what you sold to know what you're going to sell. It's over. It's done. It's happened once. Forget it.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Cuellar. I am an artist, underground, lowbrow artist to be precise. I do feminist work. I do art that is different than most people, because I think that my father was a political painter in Chile, so it was very interesting to stay in the same kind of background. This gallery has no gender, no color, no but more than that, it has everything and more. Because the thing is you can say you're a feminist and go to a feminist gallery and say, well, but it has a gender, it has a color, it's already classified. Here you find everything. Because when I do something that is appealing to me, like, then it's work and art and fun. So if it's appealing to me, then yes. But when sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, I wanted to make it stylish, I want to make it, then it's work. And when you start not liking what you do anymore, it's work for sure. So working at like let's say a shopping mall or things like that, that would be work. This is art and work. It's I love what I do, and I'm fulfilled, you know. Yeah.
I can say that the project is satisfying in the sense that it's been growing ever since we started it. It's not like going backwards, so it's always forward. More artists, more people are interested, like things are getting better. And also I'm trying to expand a little bit, so doing group shows of like maybe 12 artists from the gallery who are showing every month. We take their art and we show it in a different place to show, okay, this is the artist from the usine.
You know, people come here because they love this place, you know, and it's just, c'est la galerie, it's the gallery to go to.